There we go. Right, so we're going to be digging back into the Infectious Madness of Dr. Dekker. Last time we played this, it's been a wee while since we played it, but hopefully, I remember this giving you a wee sort of flashback or recap at the start of the game. But from what I can remember, so we'll just give you a wee sort of thing just to say it. We are taking over from the psychiatrist Dr. Dekker, who was mysteriously murdered. As we're talking to his patients, we notice that some of them believe they have powers, some of them have some supernatural connection to things, and somehow Dr. Dekker was all in the middle of this. We discovered that he has told these people that they have these abilities, and Claire, I can't remember, let me try and remember their names. So there is Mariana, who blacks out and wakes up at the ocean. It ends up he's had some kind of relationship with her. There is, let me just get the names up so I can give you a better idea of what's going on. There is Nathan, who I think was the guy who was in a car crash, who believes that he's stuck in a loop, like a Groundhog Day situation, after he was in a car crash where his partner died. There's Mariana. Jaya, Jaya is our what's the term for it? She is like our receptionist who deals with all our stuff, a personal assistant who maybe knows more than she's letting on to. There's Ellen, or Ayn, I can't remember how you say her name, who is a care worker who believes that she can transform into people, like wearing skin almost. You know, she can and she uses that to talk to people in the old folks' home. And yeah, so she's got a connection with Dr. Dekker as well, obviously from. And here we go. It's Claire. This is a big one. We found it last time. Claire actually killed her husband and believes that she has brought him back from the dead, but as some kind of zombie revenant. Like, all he does is get up, he goes out, he hunts, and he comes back in and he's really sort of messy about it. So she believes that she's brought him back from the dead, and she's agreed to show us him. But then we have Bryce. Now Bryce is what is he? He's a grave digger who believes that there's an extra hour in a day where everyone's frozen, and we've found out that he has partook in some questionable activities, very illegal, very wrong activities, but has also came out and said that Dr. Dekker himself was partaking in some wrong and evil activities. So yeah, somehow Dr. Dekker is at the middle of all of this. On top of being a psychiatrist, he's somehow had a hand in either pushing these people to the edge or making these people use these powers they have. So yeah, the plot's sort of unfolding now. We're on day 4, or act 4, and there's 5 acts, so yeah, this one's our second last one, the penultimate chapter, and we're just going to see where this adventure takes us and where how we can unravel this web, because everybody could be a suspect about who's killed Dr. Dekker, and we're not quite sure who did it yet, so we're just going to dig in 3, 2, 1, let's fucking go.
Midnight each day.
On Valentine's night.
Time as you know it freezes.
20 minutes past 10. Keep up, Doctor.
Thinks we're going to smother her in her sleep.
I'm a grave digger, Doctor.
I was at home.
David is my husband.
All on my lonesome.
Stabbed him with a steak knife.
Nothing changes.
I'm a qualified angel of death.
When I'm dancing.
You get this day over and over.
Hilda.
I black out.
I don't think she's got long.
And Laurie just...
Naked on the beach.
Hannah.
Is that it for today?
David hunts,
I can change my skin.
then skins.
Dr. Dekker dated his patients.
I had a hot date.
We went out for drinks.
I took photos of Jessica.
Dr. Dekker did phone
On Valentine's Day.
Ask me for Nathan's number.
There was a girl there.
Am I wrong to keep the locket?
I'm
Like
allowed to talk
firework
to
there.
her, aren't I?
He was preoccupied with finding
Photographs.
patterns.
Rocking chair.
I haven't been back to the beach since
I had a bit of a shaky loop incident.
where I find something
I set fire
beautiful in the sea.
to Hannah's clothes in the garden.
I dug the grave.
I wish I'd said goodbye.
Dr. Dekker cursed me.
It didn't weigh enough to have a body in it. There's someone else in my hour.
I brought David back to life.
I removed the chains, dressed her.
It was Iris.
We could try shifting now.
Would you like to see David, Doctor?
Sorry.
We both read The Cult of the Kinetic Mind. I'm not broke. It's no coincidence that most psychokinetic patients are
Grateful if you could see your way to declaring me
insane, or at least
temporarily insane.
There was no flame. And then there was.
I'll kiss a guy,
I pretended like the hypnosis had worked.
and then he just follows me
Can we maybe not talk about Hannah anymore?
wherever I go.
I may just still pull out in front of the driver.
So yeah, from what I can gather, from what I forgot is that so this is all our patients here. We've got Mariana. Well, actually, we've got who's this at the end? We've got Nathan, again the one who's got the Groundhog Day situation. Mariana, who we found out has had a relationship with Dr. Dekker, who has been coming quite strongly onto us, but the nature of her and Dr. Dekker is still, we don't know yet, and she's been waking up at the ocean, like blacking out. And she's got some sort of ability where if she kisses someone, that they'll be drawn to her. So I asked her about being a siren and shit like that, because, you know, Cthulhu mythos, I thought, oh, maybe fish people and whatever, but claims that she doesn't know siren, but she says Dr. Dekker referred to her as that, so there might be some connection there. We've got Ellen, who I can't remember what her big revelation was last time. I think it was she went on a date with someone and she was talking more about, yeah, it was she cared for Dr. Dekker's mother, and she would transform into Dr. Dekker so that his mother could have some kind of what's it called, closure in life. Then we have Claire, who was telling us about her mad zombie husband. This one I'm very interested in, but we'll get to her when we get to her. Bryce, who was telling us that he actually worked at Claire's husband's funeral, and when he went to bury the body, there wasn't a body. Which was, again, which kind of makes sense with her idea that he's a zombie, but we'll see how that goes. Jaya, I can't remember what Jaya actually said to us, but I think Jaya was talking to us about psychokinetic powers, and how Dr. Dekker would bring these out in people. Scarlet, who I think she's new. Holy shit, she's the person that was in the basement. Because we were talking to Claire, I think, who mentioned that her friend. I think it was her friend Scarlet. I might be getting this completely wrong. But she was. When Bryce had that extra hour, he said that there was someone in the basement that he helped escape, and I've got a feeling that might be Scarlet. And who was it? Glyn. Big Glyn, I think he's new. Right, so we'll be starting with who do we fancy starting with? Because we're gonna be going back and forth a lot. Actually, let's check. What have we got here? By signing this agreement, the borrower agrees to it's a loan for loan amount £15,000, arrangement fee £1, interest amount 0%, term 36 months. Mariana borrowed money. Right, there we go. There, so Mariana has borrowed money. I'll see how that comes about. And let's just talk to Dr. Dekker's. He had ethanol in his blood, and he had, I can't even say that word, temazepam. So I've got a feeling we're going to have to keep a mind of these, and again, it's something I'm sure he said probably last time, but it's been that long since I played this that it's kind of went out of my mind. Let's just check out, what dream was that? Jay thinks I should tell the patient so I can stop her problems. Perhaps I should avoid her till later. Keep that in mind. Oh, I just remember something I just need to. There we go. So let's start off with Nathan. So we'll start off with, how are you today?
I'm feeling good. I ran into one of your other patients, Mariana. She's beautiful. I think we might go on a date.
Oh. So you might go on a date with Mariana. Maybe he's been like enchanted by her. Gotta be still watching, but it's that time I do alert. No problem, Crash. Take care of yourself. Have a look at toxicology report.
Temazepam is the same sleeping pill Dr. Dekker prescribed me. Why would he mix those with alcohol? People are such idiots. Which reminds me, that truck driver died.
Right, so that's a sleeping pill. That's it. That Dr. Dekker gave him, and then Dr. Dekker was mixing it with alcohol, but obviously that didn't kill him because he was stabbed with, I can't remember what item it was. Oh, big explosion. But I'm going to turn my capture card up a little bit because I'm just a wee bit afraid that, the audio might be a bit quiet on some of the ones talking, especially ones like Nathan who maybe talk a bit quieter. Here we go. So, what do you know about Dr. Dekker's drinking habits?
Alcohol isn't something I usually notice on people until they're slurring and weaving around. Was Dr. Dekker an alcoholic? Probably. I never saw him drink, though.
Well, he had alcohol in his system. Did he have alcohol in the system? Let's have a wee look. Yeah, ethanol. So yeah, I had. Is ethanol not like pure alcohol? Am I making that up? But so yeah, he had some kind of alcohol in his body. Which truck driver died?
The truck driver that ran into Hannah. He was divorced, apparently. He killed himself. He mixed sleeping pills with alcohol too, but he died in his garage.
Oh jeez, that's grim. How did he die in his garage?
I read it in the paper. He'd been drinking. Then he took the sleeping pills. Then he went into his garage and put the hose pipe through his window. Not until he put his daughter in the seat first.
Oh Jesus, that got grim. That got very grim. Did the truck driver's daughter die as well?
It's one of those newspaper stories you read and you hope it says he leaves behind his wife and 7-year-old daughter. But his daughter was in the car. Do you know I wrote him a letter?
Oh, that's grim. Tell me about the letter.
Dr. Dekker told me one of the ways to get through my grief would be to write a letter to the truck driver. I tried to forgive him. I know it was my fault. But the thing that made me feel best was blaming him. I think maybe he killed himself because of me. Do you think I'm to blame, Doctor?
Oh Jesus. Oh, this is a tough one. What do I say? Do I blame him for that man's death? I don't think. No, he didn't, because he was. Because while he said he did crash into him, and all, it's like not as if like. Oh, I don't know.
His daughter's picture was in the paper. Molly.
I said it wasn't his fault, but tell me. Oh no, I don't know if this is a healthy thing to talk about, but tell me about the guy's daughter. When you go.
Ever since I saw a picture in the paper, I've started thinking I could see her out of the corner of my eye, like she's watching me.
Oh Jesus!
Crazy, right?
She actually gave me a wee jump scare there.
What are you trying to do most? Cure his patients or find out who killed him?
Oh, sorry, I forgot to say that I mentioned. Can you tell me about Dr. Dekker? I want to cure his patients. I want to find out who killed him. I mean, technically, I should be professional and say I want to cure his patients.
It's been nice chatting with you. Don't get me wrong, but I can't help but feel you're mainly interested in finding out about the old doctor. I suppose you already know Dr. Dekker thought one of his patients was trying to kill him.
What? Why did Dr. Dekker think a patient was trying to kill him?
He told me in one of our sessions, which was later rewound, that someone had been leaving him messages on his prescription pad. Not good messages.
So it's obvious someone to kill him because, he was brutally murdered and, but someone was leaving him messages on his pad. I better ask Jay about that. I'll just take a wee note of that. I've got my laptop out just so I can take notes and stuff. What sort of messages were on the prescription pad?
He didn't tell me anything specifically. Just death threats. It was one of his many rants. I just sat there quietly, hoping he wasn't going to try and hypnotize me again. I asked him if it was a boy or a girl's handwriting. He said he knew who it was, and that they'd be in trouble. I think he was bluffing.
Well, clearly it was bluffing because they got, taken out of. They got taken out. What should I ask him? Let's talk about Mariana.
I can't really explain it, but she seems like such a friendly person. I think the police are barking up the wrong tree.
What have the police got to do with Mariana? Because I've got a feeling this is going to come in handy when I talk to Mariana. I can pull her up for this stuff.
I think I've probably said too much.
No.
It's probably not the same girl anyway.
No. Say it. Fuck. Which I'll do it. Use a wee hint here to... Does he wish he could save Molly? Oh, the wee girl. Probably. So... What I'll do is when I come out... So, on the green ones, they have ones I can bring up, like... They have... the green ones are things that I probably should ask them about. Do you feel you could have saved Molly? Does he know the Muffin Man? I'll make sure to ask him that afterwards.
Yeah, save Molly. As if that wasn't one of those days that just moved into the next one.
Oh, Megan. Megan's redeemed my top 3. My top 3 what? So what do you want to know about my top 3? I can stop you reliving days, or tell me what else can we follow up about? What have the police got to do with Mariana? And he said, I'll ask him different girl because he said. Because he said that Mariana's probably a different girl that the police are looking for, so I'll ask.
Nope.
I didn't pick up on that. Top 3 Chris Pratt voice acting roles. Mario, Garfield, and has he done any other voice acting? I'll go for, again, I'm not sure if he did this because obviously What If had some voice actors come back, but I'll say Star-Lord and What If he appeared in it, because I can't actually remember if he did. I didn't actually watch I watched one episode of What If. I watched the zombie one, which was okay, but like anything's better than the actual comic version of Marvel Zombies, which is just grim, dark, and mean-spirited for the sake of it. The Lego Movie, of course he's in the Lego Movie. The Lego Movie's really fucking good. I think people love it because they expect it to be absolutely terrible, but it's surprisingly right. Shut up, Nathan. I'll get back to you in a second. Onward, that was a Pixar movie with Tom Holland and him. I'd never heard anything about that at all. Ben 10 Ultimate Alien. He's getting destroyed on Instagram. Oh dear. Oh, is that a thing he said about his wife? It was like her heart belongs to me or something like that. Some proper Dr. Dekker weird shit. Right, let's say to Nathan, I can stop you reliving days.
Please do. I wish I could believe you.
How can I stop him reliving days? Tell me about your affair.
My solicitors assured me that I wouldn't have to discuss anything about my trial with you, so I'm not going to. Concentrate on my state of mind, and let me worry about other things.
Fine then, I'll not care about it. So it's not just that, he was going on about how his new wife gave him a healthy kid. Oh yeah, fuck your other wife. That's how it is? Because I know his first son was born, because that's how he said he found God, because he was praying when his other kid was born sick. That's a bit shite. Yeah. It's a shame because I really liked him in Parks and Recreation. But do you ever think social media was the worst thing to happen to these people? Because now they can just talk all the shit they want and you can realise, oh, you're actually a psychopath or you're a fucking weirdo. As an unhealthy baby, I take offence. Yeah, Yeah, it's the thing is when he's acting like he has a really likable sort of character. I say character, he's really likable. He's really sort of like on screen. He's got similar sort of Ryan Reynolds energy and all that sort of thing. But but yeah, then his real life sort of thing comes into it, and you're like, oh, you're a weirdo. Oh. I remember I was actually watching the Nintendo thing with Jason, and Shigeru Miyamoto came on and was talking. Was it? Anyway, I was talking about the Mario movie, and he said, "Oh, Mario will be voiced by Chris Pratt." And oh, I nearly fucking died. I thought it was a joke. Like all the other cast and stuff kind of makes sense, kind of, you know. And then you get Chris Pratt playing Mario, and you're like, he's the most like generic sort of white guy who can do comedy and do a bit of action as well, you know. Right, so I think actually we'll check what else we can ask Nathan. That's the one I'm going for. Actually, I'll use a hint, see if we can follow up on that. He said Marianne's probably not the same girl. Same girl as what? I'll say that exact line. Same. Won't be seeing Jason anymore because he blew up. That's it, big time influencer Jason. See if Jason wanted to go for partnership now. He may get his hours up, but his average viewers are flying up. So same girl as what? Because they said earlier that Marianne's being investigated by police. I mean, oh, it's probably a different girl.
Read the papers, Doctor. I don't, but people at work talk about it. Missing people, dead bodies. The police are looking for a redhead, apparently.
Raise don't count towards partnership. Ah, that's a shame. So yeah, he said, read the papers. Dead bodies have turned up, looking for a redhead girl. But same girl as what? That I'm just gonna re-listen to this.
Read the papers,
just
Doctor.
to.
I don't, but people at work talk about it. Missing people, dead bodies. The police are looking for a redhead, apparently.
Police are looking for a redhead. Right, we'll come back to Nathan because I've got a feeling that we've got some good nuggets here that we can pull up other people. Who's next? We'll save Marianne because I think we've got a good thing with her, so we'll save that. Let's go with who do we feel like? Let's talk to Scarlet because I don't think we've met Scarlet. Who are you?
Scarlet. I haven't been in since he died. Since Dr. Dekker died.
Right, tell me about Dekker.
He was a complicated man, as I suppose most people are. His external persona didn't match what he dreamed about.
I think Scarlet. So, if you remember last time, they mentioned that someone was in the basement with Dr. Dekker, like someone that was tied up, and your wee creepy man, what's his name? Bryce released him. I think that might be Scarlet, because Claire also mentioned that her friend Scarlet was with Dr. Dekker, but again, it's just a theory. I'm not 100% sure about it. Is she a Bigfoot lady? Is that her issue? What did Dr. Dekker's dream about?
Dreams were amazing, filled with a spectrum of colours and creatures. It was like Narnia for grown-ups. That was in the beginning.
Narnia for grown-ups? I was gonna go, oh, is that like so-and-so? But I've literally forgot every single fantasy franchise ever. I don't know, is that Wheel of Time? That's a thing, isn't it? I've never read it, I've just seen these. Do you know what his dreams look like? What creatures were in Dr. Dekker's dreams? How did Dr. Dekker's dreams change at the end? Or what? Let's just start with what did the dreams look like?
I'm a dream walker. I can visit people and help them in their dreams.
Oh no.
You've not caught up on all his old patients yet then?
The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. Oh, I know that's Narnia, but he said she had like Narnia for grown-ups. I was like, oh, I know. I'll say a fantasy series, and again, I forgot every single one. You know. Read a book, Sean. I've got dyslexia. I can't read books. I mean, I can try, but you know. What creatures were in Dr. Dekker's dreams?
Fluid. Soft. Intricate things. I couldn't draw a picture if you asked. But they drew you to them. They looked a little strange, but you felt compelled to watch them.
I've got an image, you know, like the aliens in Arrival. That sort of they weren't really Lovecraftian, but they were a big sort of, I guess, Eden that's kind of see it like any sort of whenever they use like aliens or whenever they use like sea life sort of designs, everyone will say it's Lovecraftian. But yeah, I think they might be somewhat sort of thing. Well, obviously it's Dr. Dekker's, of course it's Lovecraft, because we've literally mentioned Cthulhu multiple times. How did Dr. Dekker's dreams change at the end?
Chaotic, dark. Like an earthquake, everything you stood on shifted into something else. I think he was fighting with something internally. And it was winning.
Oh, it got really dark at the end. And what was Doctor? How do you dreamwalk? What were you doing on Valentine's Day? Let's say what was Dr. Dekker
I don't know. It's a turn of phrase. Inner demons? Insanity? I don't know. I can visit dreams, but I can't force the dreamer to interact with me.
Oh, how do you dreamwalk? Because I've got a feeling that we're not really talking about the fact that she's saying she can get into dreams. I mean, it's pretty like it's small potatoes compared to what people have claimed that they can do in here. But yeah, I feel like we're not asking her straight up about how to dreamwalk.
It's something I've been able to do since I was little. I was born an identical twin, and my sister and I shared dreams. We just thought it was normal. When our younger brother started having night terrors, we helped him. I just need to know the person, a little, and know they're dreaming. Then I can sort of jump into them.
Tell me about jumping into people. See, when you word it like that, I just imagine if anyone used to watch Billy and The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy, it was an episode where Billy finds that if you swan dive into the top of people's heads, that you can like control them or whatever. Is she a dream warrior? Oh mate, see if this turns in. Yes, man. And Sean, you probably know this, and because Dream Warriors is my favourite Nightmare on Elm Street movie, and it's probably up there in my top 10 favourite horror movies. I love that movie so much. The Dokken theme is fucking great as well. If I could get away with it, I would open every stream with it and close every stream with it, but DMCA, you know. Tell me about jumping into people.
It's something, I think, in my mind. Firstly, I need to sleep myself. I'm constantly tired, so I can pretty much sleep on demand.
I know that feeling.
Before I go, I think of jumping into that person. That's how it works for me. I've tried teaching others, but I don't know if anyone else can do it.
Who have you taught?
I don't know. Lots of people. Whenever I get close enough to tell somebody about it, the first thing they want to do is try it out or have me visit their dreams. That's kind of why I'm here.
Oh dear, what have you done?
Relationships.
How are your relationships? Oh, here we go. It's the juicy stuff. In the words of Fraser Crane, let's talk about sex. Come on, let's go.
It's difficult to sustain them. I'm not just talking about romantic entanglements. It's hard keeping friends, too. Like I said before, I tell them about my ability and they immediately want to try it out. problem is. I don't normally like what I see.
So she gets upset when what she sees in dreams and stuff like that. I mean, dreams are fucking weird. Like, I once had a horrible, horrible dream where I was getting abused by. Do you remember the Commonwealth Games had that mascot? It was like a thistle. Clyde, that was his name, yeah. Why does your Fraser Crane sound like Freddy Krueger? Well, if you've seen earlier, like when Fraser gets like that, it's when I imagine real Kelsey Grammer comes out. He does sound a bit Freddy Kruegerish because he's, very, very cretinous and stuff. But yeah, I had a dream like Clyde, the fucking mascot, was so whenever I actually seen a statue of Clyde in real life, because I was at college in the town as well, and I wasn't involved in the Commonwealth Games, but I was around a lot of it because a lot of my friends were working at it, or the promotion was always everywhere. I'd always see him, and I always have a little spiky anxiety whenever I see him because I was like, oh no. Anyway, back to different. So why don't you like what you see?
I think people try to show off. Firstly, they're a bit shocked if I turn up in their dream. But when they're comfortable with that, they start to put on a show. But most people can't control their dreams, so they tend to turn into nightmares pretty quickly. Oh look, I'm dreaming of a giant Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. Oh, why is it destroying New York?
Why have I got dicks for fingers? I mean, that doesn't sound too terrifying. It's literally a plot of Ghostbusters, but see, if you're so used to having dreams, surely you'd be used to. I guess it'd probably be different if you're in someone else's nightmares, because that's like brand new horrors that you've not seen. But why do other people's dreams affect your relationships? Good question.
When you've experienced someone's dream, if they've been a bit creepy in it or terrified me, it's hard to look someone in the eyes after that. It's embarrassing. What should I do, Doctor? Should I not tell people about my ability? Keep it a secret, bottle it up?
I mean, I'd get creeped out if someone came up to me and goes, I can see your dreams. Oh no. Horrible things happen in my dreams. Keep it secret or tell people about their ability. So this is the thing, because Gia told me, like, in that sort of, I don't know if I was asleep or drugged or what, she told me to push people to use their abilities, but that's why I've got a feeling she's maybe behind it. Like, she's the one who I'm feeling is maybe behind the murder, but we'll see. Will I tell her to keep it secret, or will I tell? I don't know, because walking about going, I can get in your dreams, that'd be a bit strange. So, and if it's given her that much worry, then I'd say keep it secret.
I'm not sure that's healthy, but I guess I could give it a try. What if it accidentally comes out? Is there anything else I can do to stop pushing people away?
Refuse to dreamwalk, be honest, or accept they're just dreams. That's what I'd say.
It's difficult to do when you experience them like I do. But I know what you're saying is right. A lot of the time I assume people are controlling their dreams like I can. But they're probably directed by their subconscious, and who controls that?
Yeah, because it's unless you're doing lucid dreaming, which again I don't actually believe is a thing. The theory is that you can control your dreams and stuff. Again, I don't believe in it. Scarlett wants to push people, Scarlett wants to stop pushing people away. Maybe she should just refuse to dreamwalk for them, or be honest. Jeez, will tell her to get over herself. This woman has a severe case of main characterism. Actually, I should tell her. So, refuse to dreamwalk. There we go. That's a good one, because if you tell people you can do that and then go no.
So, if I could breathe through my ears, you wouldn't want to see it? I do say no. A lot. But I usually cave eventually.
Be honest, maybe? I don't know.
Double honest. Interesting. I suppose I haven't really tried that. I might just give that a go.
Aye, maybe that'll work in. So, onto the juicy stuff here. Were you dating Dr. Dekker?
He's dead now, so I suppose it won't affect him if I admit that.
Dekker, you dirty
So
bastard!
yes, I was. Not near the end, though. Not when his dreams started changing. Like I said, my ability ruins relationships. Who told you? Jaya?
Nope, Jay didn't tell me, but I cannot even begin to tell you the amount of rules and laws that Dr. Dekker will be breaking here. Why Jay?
Just thought she'd know. Thought she'd know everything about her precious Dr. Dekker.
Oh, I'm sensing a bit of hostility here.
Sorry, we didn't speak that much. But she was a lot like the other woman. So much control over someone who was supposed to be her superior.
What were you doing on Valentine's Day?
Valentine's Day was awful. I had a bit of an accident with a creme brulee torch and had to spend the night waiting in A&E. I melted a nail to my finger.
Oh,
It hurt a lot and needed stitches. It's all fine now, though.
well, that was grim. But what can we chase up? Because it's what can we chase her up? Let's do a wee hint. Recently dreaming that she's in Arthur's dreams. Oh, whoops, sorry. I'll just put maybe you are dreaming. Are dreaming.
His dreams were amazing.
No, I picked up on Dr. Dekker's dreams. Well, maybe see, because nothing's popping up here, but she clearly has other things to tell us. So maybe I'll come back to her. So we have talked to Nathan and we have talked to Scarlet. Let's talk to our wee boy Glenn. I say Glenn. No, I'll leave you for now. Mariana, Ellen, Claire, Bryce, Jaya. Let's talk to Mariana because we can pull her up for being wanted for murder and shit like that. I got a tiny wee CJ figure from Animal Crossing out of Tokyo Toys. They didn't have Agent S. I was gutted. That's a shame. I was looking for I was looking for a rolled something for that character because that's Megan's favourite Animal Crossing character. But merch is really difficult for very minor like Animal Crossing characters. Like, see if you want what's her name? What's her name? Fuck. What's the name of the wee dog that's in the place with Tom Nook? I forgot her name. Like it was rolled. Megan really likes rolled, who's like a wee so Isabel is the, if you want anything about Isabel, tons of Isabel merch, you know. But it was rolled, he's like a wee penguin with a wee shirt on, and he's Megan's favourite. But because he's such a little character, you know. Oh yeah, it says, well, oh, how you doing? JJ's girl, how you doing? Hope you're having a good day. So I'm playing a game called Dr. Dekker, the Infectious Madness of Dr. Dekker, where I am a psychiatrist who is talking to his patients, who all had some prior connection to Dr. Dekker, who was murdered. That's good to hear. I'm glad you're doing well. So Mariana here has been having problems with She's in a relationship with a past doctor, and she's been having a situation where every one time she kisses someone, that they follow her. And people have been turning up dead, that we found out from another patient. So we're going to have to question her about that, and we're going to have to talk about it. So we're going to start off going, how are you today?
I feel thirsty, Doctor. And hot. Do you have any water?
I mean, I really should. Why do you feel thirsty and hot?
I've been drinking a lot of water recently. I didn't go to the beach. I didn't go to the sea. I said I would, but I didn't. I've been feeling this way for a while. It's like it's getting worse because I didn't go to the sea. It's like I'm having...
Great weekend ahead for me. I got new wrestling merch this week, and I'm finished work for the day. That's good to hear. Whose merch did you pick up? I'm pretty sure this lady's American accent isn't authentic. No, you think, Sean? You think? The guys that make this have actually, I think they've released a bunch of FMV games. They've released one which is like an action movie now. I can't remember its name, but it's actually got a record for the most amount of footage in that FMV game, and which is ridiculous. But I was thinking about maybe checking them out because I've actually really enjoyed this. I'd buy a Danhausen t-shirt if they want in the UK to help pay for his broken leg. Danhausen's a guy that I cannot wait for him to come over. He is fantastic, and like that's the thing. See if you can get people who aren't wrestling fans interested, you're something special then, you know. But see, once everyone sort of calms down, I assure you he'll be over at some point. Have you heard of a guy called Ian Skinner? Oh yeah, Ian Skinner's fucking great. He's phenomenal. I met him a couple of times prior to COVID, but I know like he's been doing a lot with ICW recently and all that. But yeah, actually, I was in a rumble with him in Govan, and I met him on a show. I think in Mount Vernon where I wrestled Zero, and I think who did he wrestle? He wrestled. I can't quite remember who he wrestled, but yeah, Ian Skinner's fucking great, and he's one of the many reasons I think Scottish wrestling's in the best hands that it'll be in right now, with the sort of, how do I say it, the sort of guys that are here now and the guys that are coming up, you know. Zero's amazing. Like, he should be everywhere on shows. And see when everyone sort of gets back. Like, I know things are getting back now, but give it a year, he'll be everywhere, you know. Like I think I'm extremely lucky to be able to see all these guys who are phenomenal and stuff, you know. So let's dive back in. How are you getting worse?
I don't feel well. I feel sick most of the time, dizzy, thirsty. I got a head fog like you wouldn't believe. My doctor, Dr. Rose, sent me for blood tests.
Oh, blood tests? What are the blood tests for?
Dr. Rose thinks maybe I have a vitamin deficiency. I can tell she has no idea. She smiles, but she hasn't got any answers. I think I probably need to go back to the beach.
Oh.
The sea, Doctor. It's calling me.
And why are you upside down on my couch, right? So she's got some connection with the sea. Why is he calling you?
This sounds crazy, but I can hear the sea. It's like an alarm going off in my head. Do you know where the sea is? From here? It's over there. Wherever I am, I know exactly where the sea is. It's like a compass.
Alexander McCall, loving what he's doing in ICW. Oh, big ADM. ADM's fantastic because he started roughly around the same time I did, and then he taken some time away, and he came back with a fire lit under him, and he's been, he was first Source champion. He's been absolutely killing it, and killing it in ICW as well. he's another guy. Like, again, once shows, like, he's getting booked down with respect. He's all over the place, you know. He'll be everywhere in a couple of. ADM terrifies me. He's a big guy. He's like, he's super tall, but he's a big scary bloke. But lovely when you're, you know, lovely when you get to know him. So here we go. You talk about the beach a lot.
I have this recurring dream. I'm at the beach. I strip and walk into the sea. The sea feels warm and comforting. Not cold and harsh like you'd think. I swim down to the bottom of the ocean. I can breathe freely. I can breathe water. On the ocean floor ahead of me, there is a beautiful creature.
I think you've just fallen asleep watching Shape of Water.
A glowing being with wispy limbs. It's so warm. I'm transfixed. But my feet shift. I'm unsteady. Below me, the floor is woven in human flesh. Dead bodies, but some of them still struggling for life. These are the ones touching me, gripping my feet. I scream. That's when I wake up. Do you have that dream, Doctor?
Can't say I do, Hen. I don't have the dream of being a fish person and then looking down and there's bodies everywhere. Yeah, I heard ADM's a dead nice guy from Brody Adler. Do I find that hard to believe his gimmick? That just shows you how good he is, you know? Like, because her shows that she had cheese before going to bed. Because, you know, some people say the best characters are when it's yourself blown up, which I don't completely believe because actors aren't like that, you know? So, if you can do a character with, you know, that, like, for example, I'm not a crazy homeless person, I'm, you know, I'm a boring old guy, you know? But, yeah, so he's fantastic. And Brody Adler's another one that she's really good in the ring. She's really good in the ring. She's super, like she's a lovely person, but she's super likable. Like, when you see her wrestling straight away, you're like, yes, I like you. I want you to win. Smash them, you know? She'll be everywhere. She's already doing really well for bookings, but she'll be everywhere in a year. She's so good. She's so different as well to everyone else out there. I recommend she stops eating cheese. Does cheese have an effect on you when you go to bed? Again, I don't eat cheese, so I don't quite know. I've heard joke. No, I don't have that dream.
It's horrific and beautiful at the same time.
Nah, dude, you're not old or boring. That's why I used to cheer for you at Source. Oh, well, thank you very much. Again, that means everything to me, because that's one thing I've always prided myself on. I just try to have a good connection with a crowd. That's all I can do, you know. But so, has anyone else followed you?
Do you forget anything from our sessions, Doctor? People follow me to the beach. I don't know who they are, and I don't know what happens to them. I don't always get followed, though, so it doesn't explain my blackouts.
She doesn't always get followed. What happens to the people that get followed? Maybe that was to do with the people that have turned up dead. I'll keep asking her what happens to your
I
followers.
said I don't know what happens to them. It's not always to the beach. Sometimes they follow me home.
Where's home for you?
My home is in Chantry. You know that. You rang my doorbell last night.
Excuse me? What? Why would I come to your house?
I don't know. I didn't kiss you, but you just followed me, like the others.
Oh dear.
I don't feel comfortable here, Doctor. I'd like to leave.
Oh. So that one of your opponents called me a hussy for social because I was cheering for you rather than him. You was just yeah, I was just trying to because that's one thing I always try to do is when I'm making my entrance, like try to make a connection with people because that's what people, well, you know, that's what get people like me. And if people like me, it's a lot easier for a bad guy to get booed and vice versa and stuff, you know. But I've been very lucky with all my crowds because straight away people seem to like me, which don't know what it is. But I'm really looking forward to. I think my first match back is in February, which it gives me plenty of time to get myself back into the swing of things because it like my confidence is taking a big hit in wrestling and stuff, you know. But I've got a feeling as soon as I go out in front of a crowd, bang, there we go. I'll be back, Looney Tunes back in action. Let's fucking go. But again, it means the world if you've ever, even just cheered for me or came to a show or even supported me, February, maybe around my birthday, I wonder. There's a lot of shows actually in February because February tends to be the first month that shows particularly run, because December and January seem to be a bit dead. But yeah, we're going in February. We'll get and hopefully I'll see you there. Hopefully, because again, it's a big week for all of us because that's because Source got so that'll be our first big proper show back. Will be in February, and I mean it's gonna be emotional, So let's get back to this. So what's the glowing bean?
It's a dream, Doctor. Stranger things happen in dreams.
Stranger things happen in dreams. Is there anything I can follow up on there? Where's home for you? I didn't follow you home.
My home is in Chantry.
that picks
You
up.
know that. You rang my doorbell last night.
You should ask her if that woman's jumped into her dream. Oh, that's a good shout, Sean. Oh, whoops. I mean, that hint, I'll get back to that because that's something. Because I've got let's have a look here. I've got the loan agreement, which is Mariana borrowing it from Dr. Dekker, so that will come in handy. And there's even a wee bit line for it there. My hot and spicy take. What's hot and spicy take do you want, Kieran? Right, so what's your yeah, I think these are ones that I can already ask her. Yeah. So I was gonna ask her about
My home is in Chantry. You know that. You rang my doorbell last night.
so you want a hot and spicy take that might be a bit controversial. I can't think of anything. Do you want a video game one, a movie one? Oh, my dogs came over to see what's going on because I'm talking. Who's a good girl? Who's a good girl? So I'm trying to think, what controversial hot and spicy takes do I have? I can't think of anything actually. Oh, no, it's gone. Whatever it is. Oh, Iron Brew tastes like shit. There we go. That's a hot and spicy take, especially for Scottish people. Get me lynched if I say that. That isn't, yeah, I've always hated it. I hate the taste of that. I hate the taste of haggis as well, and I hate the taste of like shortbread. Like anything that's traditionally Scottish, I don't like the taste of. What if a hot take was Scottish? Well, it's not a very good Scottish hot take because I've got a terrible taste when it comes to Scottish stuff. 2 seconds, I was just checking something on my. So there we go. So do you take diazepam?
What's temazepam? Why are you asking?
Diazepam was found in Dr. Dekker's blood.
I don't take sleeping pills. Never have done. When you suffer blackouts already, you don't really get offered anything like that.
That's a good point. Did Dr. Dekker lend you money?
He lent me some money to start my business. It was a proper agreement. I remember signing things. He thought that a distraction would do me good. I don't think he expected me to trawl the beach for treasure and sell it online.
Right, so let's ask her about the... So, where is it? I rang her, but where's home for you? That's it. I'm just gonna listen to it one more time.
My home is in Chantry. You know that. You rang my doorbell last night.
Excuse me, boys. I never rang your doorbell. That'll be it.
If you say so, it must have been your twin then.
My twin, because I got a feeling we've got an interesting wee sort of bit here.
I don't know if I have a twin. Do you have a twin, Doctor?
No, I don't have a twin.
I know you don't. It was definitely you, wearing what you're wearing now.
What, I'm wearing my big Sonic fursuit? Well, it must have been me then if I was wearing that. Oh, thank you very much for the bits, JJ's girl. Thank you so much. And that's how Spiffy sits on the couch. What do you need distraction from? Yeah, if you see him streaming, that his camera's actually just upside down. What do you need distraction from?
Dr. Dekker thought I had too much time on my hands, so a distraction would do me good. He lent me 15,000, all in all.
15's quite a wee bit of money. Oh, whoops. What does the alarm sound like, or was Dr. Dekker an alcoholic? Let's ask about Dr. Dekker being
I've
alky.
seen Dr. Dekker drink, but not that much. Certainly not during our sessions. He had other things on his mind, I'm sure.
Did she say 15 or 50? Yeah, 15,000. Yeah, Dr. Dekker lent her 15k to start her business, and now he's turned up dead and we don't know who did it, so I've got a feeling we'll... Actually, what I've got here. Dr. Dekker's loan, I should look at the contract. Where is it? Where is the loan? By signing the agreement, the board accepts the... Lender also agrees to consider the loan repaid in full if they should die. Oh, because Dr. Dekker got murdered and the loan's repaid if that's the case. Oh. Oh. How do I ask her that? There is I can't spell the word death. Death clause in the contract.
He wanted a clause in our loan agreement that said I didn't have to pay him in the event that he died. He wasn't expecting to die, he was just concerned my anxiety would get worse, wondering what it would mean if he did.
That sounds like a cover-up pen. Oh, whoops. I should maybe ask about the referral letters. Sure.
I hear a sound like singing, calling me. It gets stronger when I face it, when I move towards it. That's how I know where the sea is. But when I don't go to the sea, I feel like the sound gets louder all the time. I'm having trouble sleeping.
Yeah, it does seem a bit. She seems
Perhaps
shady.
I need sleeping tablets after all.
So, oh, Nathan, yeah, because Nathan mentioned, he's like, oh, Mariana's very beautiful, we might go on a date. So, has Nathan spoken to you?
He's the cute, sad-looking one, isn't he? He asked me out, and I said I'd let him know. Do you think I should go out with him?
Oh, no. Yeah, go out with Nathan, I'll say that.
Okay, but if he goes missing, don't go looking at me.
No, hey, no. Because people have been going missing, turned up dead. So, don't know if I believe you in this one. Have you been dancing recently?
No, there's been no dancing. I haven't been feeling that well, Doctor.
Oops, I'm just going to take a drink. Oh yeah, that's the big one right now, because if Nathan disappears, that's so I think I'm relatively dumb. Well, I can stop you having blackouts.
You said it with such a serious look on your face, I almost believed you. It would be good if you had some kind of superpower that helped me, but I don't think so.
I do have a superpower. Modern medicine. Tell me about your referral letter.
It's a referral letter, Doctor. Don't overthink it. A girl can't be too careful with everything that's been going on.
Poor Nathan getting used as bait. Well, yeah, what else am I going to use them for? Let me have a look, see what I can. Is there anything that I can follow up on? Oh, she said that I could see if it has a wee green asterisk next to it. It means there's more information I can glean out of it. Oh, she said if I have a superpower, I do have a superpower. Maybe that'll trigger something.
Wow. Are you trying to scare me? I'm not sure that's a good idea, Doctor.
Right, she seems genuinely shook by that, so I think maybe Dekker has actually told her things and all that. Right, what else is it? Dr. Dekker lend you money. It be sort of sees calling you. Oh, I've just clicked something. So if she talks about the tell me about the human flesh, because the human flesh she might go, oh, this looks like this person or whatever, and then maybe that'll be connected to people that have disappeared. Tell me about the human flesh.
I do nothing. People follow me. I don't ask them to.
Right, so I think that's genuinely everything that we can do with Mariana today. So I don't think we're like. There's a couple of things that we can pull up, but I don't know if that'll be much about Dr. Dekker lending her money and stuff like that. So we're going to move on to got Ellen, Claire, Bryce, Jaya, and Glyn. Let's talk to Glyn. Because if it's yellow, it means there's not a lot of stuff to bring up him. Who are you?
Sorry, I'm Glenn. I didn't expect to be here. I was looking for the men's room.
Toilet's just out to the left, pal. Why didn't you expect to be here?
Like I said, I was in the green room. You know, that new restaurant in town. I actually need to do something.
Great, that new restaurant with Patrick Stewart cutting about murdering people.
Done. Sorry. I was in the middle of a date. I needed the restroom, and here I am.
Yeah, Sean's getting excited about a Scottish guy turning up in this. The restroom. Let's ask him about this.
Sorry, you're not familiar with my case.
Oh, what can you do?
I stepped through the restroom door into your office.
Sir, my office is not a toilet.
Sometimes when I go through a door, it opens to
because that shit on the floor doesn't mean you can. Did Jaya see you?
No, I shouldn't imagine she did that. I didn't even pass through the waiting room. Besides, it's lunchtime, she won't be there.
Right, so he thinks he can tell you know Jaya's lunch schedule?
No, not really. But it's lunchtime, and you don't normally see patients now. Well, Dr. Dekker didn't normally see patients now.
Tell me about Dekker.
Dr. Dekker was crazy.
I agree.
I arrived late to the party. Apparently, he was a fine, upstanding citizen before. I don't know what changed him. Of the few sessions I had with him, he'd observed me walking through doors.
Just watch this guy cutting through a door. Yes, man. What did he observe?
I'd walk through a door and I'd disappear. Then I couldn't get back. The session was £150 either way.
Oof.
So I paid that for a couple of times and then decided it was a bad idea. As you can see, it's still happening.
Right, so 150 quid. How does Mariana have the money? Well, I guess the 15k loan she got for Dr. Dekker, but... ooh. What's still happening?
The doors. I'm still vanishing from one place to another.
What's causing your problem?
My dad died.
Oh.
He was on his deathbed and I was complaining about work, women or whatever. It was an idiom. He said, when one door closes, another opens. Then he died. I needed those words to be important. So here I am.
Tell me about your dad.
He was stoic. He had tuberculosis in his lungs. That's what killed him. Nobody knew until the end. I never got to say I loved him.
God, this is a really sad story. Talk more about how you walk through doors and stuff, because...
Yeah.
Do you regret not saying you loved him?
Maybe. He'd split with my mum 3 years earlier. It was messy. It was bad. I didn't talk to him really at all. They called me as next of kin, said I should come in if I wanted to say goodbye. I did love him. He just broke everything.
Oh, I feel bad for him. I know, I feel a bit bad for this guy as well. Did you make peace with your dad?
No.
Oh.
I hadn't seen him for so long. I just let it all out. I screamed, I shouted, I punched the walls. Do you know what he said?
What did your dad say?
Sorry. Over and over again.
Oh, this is really sad.
Like he really meant it. He did. He really meant it. And when I stopped, when I was exhausted, he smiled.
You can ask that lady that can bring back the dead. Oh, Claire.
Like he cherished me. Like he'd been waiting to say sorry. Waiting for forgiveness.
I know this poor guy. Like, the thing is, everyone else has got these like. I know they're trying to be realistic with issues, but then you're going from like Marianne, who's like, oh, people follow me and they turn up dead, and Nathan is like, oh, I get Groundhog Day things where I come back, and this guy's coming with all these real problems and real emotions, and this guy's genuine. Like, there's been some acting that's been okay, but this guy is genuinely really good because I'm getting a wee bit. I feel really bad for this poor guy. You know, did you ever forgive your dad? Oh, this is a real question. Oh, did you ever forgive your dad?
I didn't get to. I didn't get to say I loved him. I didn't get to forgive him. He just said when one door closes, another opens. And then he died. What does he think of me?
Does it make sense? Yeah, it's a very realistic feeling that. Again, there's probably like Nathan here when in our I say early sessions in like the at the start of the game he was talking about when his partner died. Ellen works in a care home and a lot of real feelings she was talking about there when you actually work in a care home, which I've experienced and stuff like that. Claire, her husband died, but she murdered him, so she doesn't really care. Bryce is weird, but there is very sort of real problems, and I was like, oh, this is the first one that I've actually felt a bit emotional at. Right, so here we go. Say, your dad loved you.
All those years, thinking I was the bigger man. It turns out he was. There's no going back, is there, Doctor? When one door closes, it's shut forever.
I mean, oh, what do I say? What do I say? Because I generally have another patient that can bring back the dead. No, door's not shut forever. Oh, I don't know what to say. We'll say no.
How? How do I go back?
Try to forgive yourself. Just open the door back or travel back in time. Oh, I don't know. Open the door back.
I hadn't thought of that. I've just been thinking when I open a door, it goes somewhere else in the present, not in the past. Thank you, Doctor. Thank you. I'll try that. Now. I'll try that now.
Oh, I've got a feeling I've maybe done something really bad here. Oh. Oh no. So he's away to try walk through a door to try and find. Right, so who have we got? We've got Ellen, Claire, Bryce, and Jaya left. We'll leave Jaya to the end because I should suggest that I do. I should tell Glenn to stop feeling guilty or tell Glenn. So yeah, we'll talk to. Excuse me. Let's talk to Ellen. How are you today?
Hilda died last night. On her own, heartbroken because she couldn't see her daughter. I feel terrible. I should never have listened to you.
Ellen, come on. So, for some background, this character is a nurse who believes that she can actually shift into she can transform into people. Like, she can just look like them. And she's been doing that to get close to old people who maybe can't see their daughter, their children, or their husband, or whatever, you know. And it ends up she's been getting gifts and stuff like that, so it's a bit. And we found out she's been doing stuff that she probably shouldn't have with this ability. And I told her to stop using the ability because, again, it's deceiving people. So, and she was, so I told her not to do it, and now she's blaming me because a patient died and didn't see. Why shouldn't you have listened to me?
In our last session, you said that shifting was wrong, that I shouldn't shift for Hilda, that I should let her die without seeing her daughter. I'm such an idiot. I have this amazing gift and I didn't use it.
How did Hilda die?
One of the other nurses found her. She went without anyone even noticing. I wasn't there.
I'm going to mute my
I
microphone
phoned
because
in
fire was
sick.
going to operate outside.
I knew that if I went into work, I'd want to shift.
do you have access to sleeping pills?
Obviously, I'm a nurse. I can get access to sleeping tablets pretty easily, but it's not really that hard. It's probably the same for Jaya. She works for a doctor.
Yes, Dr. Mikey. Dog's unit. Lily's sitting up on the couch right behind me, and she's wagging her tail because she heard her voice. She's absolutely fine. She doesn't mind fireworks at all. But Buddy's not here now. Buddy's with Megan's mum, and he's like the last couple of nights. My mother-in-law's found Buddy in the like cloakroom, digging his head back to get away from the noise and stuff like that. So the poor wee guy's he's really struggling because they were meant to come up here, and I think my partner messaged our mum saying like don't bring Buddy up here. There's fireworks right outside. So the poor wee guy would really struggle. But Lily doesn't bother with him. Like if one gives her a fright, like say if it just goes off like bang really loud, she'll bark. She'll bark as if it's like a sound something outside. She doesn't really bother with him. But yeah, the other dog I look after, Buddy's he's really bad with him. Right, so where were we? So I asked her about sleeping pills, and she says, "Oh yeah, well, Jaya could get them because she's a doctor." And looked at me. Well, Dr. Mikey can get everything. Did Dekker ever drink alcohol?
I don't know if he was an alcoholic or anything, but Dr. Dekker seemed to like a drink. He was drinking the day he died. Well, we both were, actually.
Oh no.
It must be very stressful being a therapist. Do you find it stressful, Doctor?
I mean, it's stressful, but I don't start drinking while my patients, and just annoying my area. Thankfully, we don't have any pets to wear it. Yeah, that's the ones I feel really sorry for because it's they're not there. Like they did my tits in. I hate fireworks, but it's the fact that people are letting them off in cul-de-sacs where there's dogs, there's cats, there's even like hamsters, guinea pigs, like all these sort of pets and stuff, and they're gonna be shitting themselves because you can't really explain to them what it is, But it's especially like I've got another one of my friends, Sammy. She lives around here, and she's got quite a few cats, and they'll all be terrified, I think, right now. And I'm lucky in the fact that Lily doesn't really bother. Lily, up you go. Right, so let's dig back into. She's asked if it's stressful being a doctor. No, it's not stressful.
Maybe you're just tired then. You should get some rest.
It's a holiday. Holiday for you? Yeah, weirdo. Where is she? Why were you both drinking?
I can't remember exactly, but something in that session had shaken me up, so Dr. Dekker poured me a drink to
Lily.
calm my nerves.
Sorry, Lily's rubbing herself on the couch so you can.
I'm not much of a drinker.
Yeah, here, I'll take your harness off. Yeah, so I was taking Lily's harness off there so she can get comfy. Tell me about Jaya.
Jaya seems really nice. I don't know why she'd want to work in a place like this.
What do you mean by a place like this? Aye, get what you're saying. This is Dr. Mikey's office.
I just mean, get all these weird people coming here. I mean, I've met some of them out in the waiting room. I know they're just people, but a couple of them have seriously given me the creeps.
Says the woman that dresses up as people's dead loved ones. Which patient gives you the creeps? Claire? Well, yeah, Claire did murder her husband, so...
She's a slightly older one, isn't she? Always well dressed? Yes, her. I'm pretty good at picking up on people's energy, and hers is cold. Actually, I think I sort of know her.
Oh,
Claire Castleford, isn't it? Apparently, she attacked her husband or something.
That's the one. Murdered him. Killed him, deed. Do you still think about Dekker?
I think of Dr. Dekker every time one of my patients dies. It makes me remember how he didn't care about his mum. He was a good therapist. He was a lousy son.
Why was Dekker a lousy son?
I was angry at Dr. Dekker. Hilda's daughter, she's in Australia, so fair enough. Maybe she really couldn't get over to see her. But Dr. Dekker's mum was dying literally on the other side of town, and he just couldn't be bothered. I shifted for her, but in a way I wish I hadn't, because it let Dr. Dekker off the hook, you know? I didn't realise how little he cared until I told him the news.
Oh, poor buddy. No, I'll... Right, so... What I'll do is I'll save... Oh, excuse me, sorry. I'll leave the... I can stop you shifting to the very end, so... Do you really think shifting is a gift?
What's the point of me having this amazing gift if I'm not going to use it? I've helped people with it, I know I have. I don't know why I let you tell me otherwise. At least I still have Amelia.
Oh, who's Amelia?
Amelia's Hilda's doll. She used to have about 9 or 10 of them, all glassy-eyed and creepy looking, with frilly dresses and curls. All over her room they were. In the end, we had to get rid of them. They weren't very hygienic. But we let her keep one, and that was Amelia.
So she had those big... What are they? It's not ceramic. It's, you know, those big old dolls and stuff. They're so fucking creepy. She's the ghost, but no, she can transform, so she can shift into other people. And she's been working as a carer or like a nurse, and she's been shifting into people's loved ones. Porcelain dolls, yeah, that's what I meant to say. Ceramic dolls, but yeah, they're so creepy. I remember my one of my grandparents bought my sister one for her birthday. My sister was only about maybe like 3 or 4 and was used to playing with, like, you know, soft dolls or whatever, and she bought this big fucking terrifying porcelain thing, and Katie could barely lift it, let alone actually play with it, you know. Oh, sorry, here we go. What happened to Hilda's doll?
I'm keeping her safe until I can pass her on to Hilda's daughter. Maybe she'll fly over for the funeral. I don't know. Are you okay, Doctor? You look a bit pale.
Sorry, I'm always pale as a corpse. I had a friend when I was a wee girl who had a... When I was wee, she had a whole room of them. Oh, that's a nightmare. It's like the... I mean, so that bit in Brooklyn Nine-Nine where they go up to the hotel and there's the creepy porcelain dolls everywhere. Did Dr. Dekker know you could shift?
Yes, I told Dr. Dekker. Most other people wouldn't have believed me, but he did. In fact, he cared far more about the shifting than he did about his mum dying.
I mean, he's probably on the break. Like, if you can shift, then he's probably on the breakthrough of this big scientific discovery of, like, I don't know, people with special powers exist. Why do you think Dr. Dekker didn't care about his mum?
For a moment, I thought he might cry. Just for a split second. But he didn't. He just carried on with our session. I wish I knew what went on there. Jaya probably knows. She spent quite a long time with Sarah when she visited.
Everyone in this game looks guilty. Well, yeah, well, it's one person because it's actually randomly chooses who the murderer is each time you start playing. Well, not when you start, but when you start a new playthrough. So it can be anyone. So I just need to pick up on little things that they say. But yeah, so everyone's a suspect right now. Do you ever try shifting or Dr. Dekker?
Yes, once. I wanted to show him what I could do so he could see for himself. I took his hand, I told him to think of a loved one, and then there was nothing. I mean, literally nothing, just an empty void. The only thing I could feel was his hand holding mine. I'm pretty sure without that I'm not sure I could have made it back.
How's Terry?
Terry hasn't been into work for a few days. I hope there's nothing wrong with her.
Are you just pretending to care about Terry because Terry was our nurse that didn't get on well with Ellen?
Terry and I are never going to be best friends, but I wouldn't wish her ill.
Wait, did Mariana say Dr. Dekker didn't drink? But Ellen's saying that he did it a session? Well, I think we know Dr. Dekker did. Well, we know that he had alcohol in the system when he died. So, but that's the thing, because we're noticing quite a few different things about Dekker that don't quite make sense, you know. Did you have a referral letter to see Dr. Dekker?
I referred myself because of Dr. Dekker's mother. Was I supposed to have a letter?
Right, and what can we follow up on here? What can I follow up on? Well, he's designed to walk over all my flyers, so I might get. She fucking hates Terry. Oh, she does. Can't stand Terry. So, oh, I can ask her about each one. So, does Grace give you the creeps?
Bryce? I'm not sure who that is.
Well then, and then I can stop you shifting.
You've never seen me angry, have you, Doctor? Don't say things like that when you don't mean them. It causes upset.
Oh, now she's got to kill me. So if I turn up dead, we know what's happened. You can hear Lily walking about. She was fine until maybe like 10-15 minutes ago. Now she's decided that she wants to come up and just. No, stay where you are. Stay where you are, you wee shite. I've had to ask about every single other one, but I've got a feeling Mariana might be the give you the creeps. Because if Mariana doesn't get it, I'll quit it there.
I don't think I know her.
Well then. So Ellen, what we can gather is she recently lost someone. So let's talk to Claire. Actually, Claire or Bryce? Who do we feel like talking to? Yeah, I've had my dinner, so good night. It's been fun. No problem, JJ's girl. Take care of yourself. Thank you very much for coming on. So I had to give Lily in trouble there because she was starting to rub on the couch. Right, Bryce or Claire? Who do we talk to? So Bryce found someone in Dr. Dekker's basement tied up and released them, and Claire killed her husband and is now brought him back as a zombie. It's not Bryce. How are you today?
I'm fine. I'm worried.
Oh no.
My pursuer in the hour, he's definitely military. I've developed a new skill to deal with him.
So yeah, Bryce seen someone in his extra hour. He has an extra hour in a day. He believes in everyone's still, but he's been followed by someone who he thinks is military. Why military? I'll say why military. Hopefully that'll pick it up.
My pursuer, he's measured in his approach, watching, testing. When he finally came for me, I wasn't ready. I think he underestimated me though, and that allowed me to escape. He didn't think I'd be able to just leave. Why do you think he's coming after me, Doctor? Oh, I think I might know.
Oh, wait, why? Why? What new skill have you developed?
Last night, I saw him draw something from his jacket. He was approaching me, grinning. I had nowhere to go. So I closed my eyes and imagined. Well, I imagined being back home. And when I opened them again, I'd teleported.
Oh. Why do you think the pursuers have come after it? Why? I wish this, because the PS4 actually had a thing where I could type through the microphone. Like I could just say something like, "Oh, the blah 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 blah," and it would come up. But for some reason, this isn't up here. So, why do you think the pursuer is chasing you?
My pursuer.
No!
He's measured in his approach, watching, testing.
Because why
My
melt it?
pursuer. He's measured in his approach, watching, testing. When he finally came for me, I wasn't ready. I think he underestimated me, though.
Right, let's try. Why do you think the pursuer is coming after you? Let's try that. See if he bites.
I think he's death, Doctor. I think I saved that old woman from burning to death in bed, and now he's coming after me to even the score.
Oh, big Final Destination
Do you
stuff here.
think it could be death?
Because I like fucking with voice. Yes. I think it is death.
Yes, perhaps it is death. I've done something good, and now I'm being punished for it. But why would it wait for me in the hour, though? Wouldn't it just come for me crossing the road?
Is the pursuer hooded? See if this is death. Because he said it's like military, so.
He's hooded, but not death in the classical sense. I suppose there's no normal when you're talking about death.
Why is death punishing you? Death.
He led me to that old woman. I said there were tests. He was testing me, and I failed. He wanted me to leave her, to let the timeline play out.
And have you seen Jessica again?
I saw Jessica across the street this morning. She waved, but I just crumbled. Ever since I took those photos, I haven't been able to face her.
You wee creep.
Do you think I should tell her about the photos, Doctor?
So Jessica is the girl that lives next door to him, and in the extra hour, he taken photos of her. I'll say no. Kids walk up to you, she'll think you're crazy, but you're a no, sorry, excuse me, you're a filthy, filthy pervert, and
I didn't think I should either. She'd hate me forever. Maybe when she next waves, I'll at least wave back.
Now that makes sense. Do you know anything
My
about
other
sleeping pills?
doctor had prescribed me sleeping pills before I came to see Dr. Dekker. I think they were called temazepam.
Oh,
I never took them.
plot thickens. How was work?
Work is fine. If anything, I've been falling behind again. I think it's the stress of not being alone in the midnight hour anymore.
Because you used to just work away in the midnight hour. What have you been doing in the midnight hour?
I stole a painting. There, I've said it.
Oh, Jesus.
It was from the local gallery, Providence. I really like it, but I can't afford it. So I took it.
Yeah, there was a girl in the last week who actually owned the gallery, I think. What else have you stolen?
It's just that one thing, just the painting I've stolen recently.
Recently, aye.
I think my new pursuer is unraveling me. Is it okay to steal things, Doctor? If I really like them?
If you really want them, steal all you want. Nah, I don't know yet. No. Officially, I have to say, it's not okay to steal
I
things.
thought you'd say that. I will do my best to refrain from it, but I can't promise anything.
I'd advise you, as your doctor and your lawyer, not to steal things, right? Did you ever see Dekker drink alcohol?
I never saw Dr. Dekker touch a drop. Doesn't mean it wasn't going on behind closed doors, though, does it?
Right, here we go. Tell me how you're able to teleport.
I was as surprised as you are. I just imagined I was somewhere else, and there I was. Perhaps Dr. Dekker was right.
Oh no.
Think of something, and it becomes real, if you believe in it. But I'll only do it wisely. Imagine the mistakes you might make. Don't want to become one with the igneous layer too soon.
The what? The Injust layer? The fuck is the... Can you demonstrate how you like to teleport? How you would teleport?
These sessions cost a lot of money, Doctor. I'm not just going to leave in the middle of one. But I can see you don't believe me.
No, it's a lawyer's term. That's not a doctor's term.
Do you really want me to teleport, Doctor?
Do you really want me to teleport? Yeah, want you to teleport.
Blink, and you'll miss it.
Oh.
Told you.
Oh. Oh. Do you see that? Did you see that? He done something. So I think they should have started to have abilities, because something's definitely a bit spooky going on here, because he teleported and then we seen the ghost of that little girl earlier. You said before you feel like you're unraveling.
No, I'm not becoming him. I'm not becoming Dekker.
Is this a photo of David Castleford? Oh yeah, because he was the Undertaker for David Castleford.
Yes, that's David Castleford. I've no idea when it was taken. Shocking composition.
That'll be the photo I take when I went to visit him. Tell me about your referral.
I was one of Dr. Dekker's first patients. I wasn't referred by anyone. My GP recommended I saw someone privately. I think he was just sick of listening to me complain about how little time I had during our 10-minute slot.
Aye, fuck GPs. Not really, they do good work, but they have very little time. What if I told you I could stop your curse?
No, Doctor. No, you can't. I've seen what you can do. You can listen and ask, but you don't have any real power.
Oh dear. Bryce is on to me here. Oh, I've accidentally... Sorry, Lily decided to sit next to me. So perhaps right, I'm done with Bryce. So we've got Jaya and Claire. So, yeah, said I was going to leave Claire to the very end. No, Jaya to the very end. So I'll do that. I will start off with Claire. How are you today?
There's no lake house today, sorry. David's not doing very well. He's caused a problem with the girl. I need to do something.
Excuse me, what? What's the problem with the girl? Oh yeah, because I think there was a girl at this place who had like a fish in her hand, and she was like, "Oh, do I talk to the girl?" But I think he's maybe done like a Frankenstein thing where he just goes up to her and like pushes her in the water by accident or something like that, you know?
The little girl, our neighbour at the lake house, she says David is weird and creepy.
Doctor!
Yeah.
Sorry, but I found some of the referral letters we were talking about. There is a pattern, but it's not the same for everyone. He said to get them to you ASAP, so here you go.
Right, thanks, Jaya. Right, what are the referral? So, start with referral 1, Dr. Dekker referred to the clinic. She's charged with murder of her husband and required a diagnosis where she's sound of men and had mens rea required for the time. I don't know that term. Apologies. I imagine that's for Claire. Excuse me. Dr. Dekker, we believe our client, who has only given us her first name Mariana, is mentally unstable and would like your expert opinion on this matter. We're happy to cover all your costs and look. That explains why she's why she can pay for it. For letter part 3, for attention to Dr. Dekker, I'm referring yet another client to you for further psychiatric evaluation. It's my hope you concur with my suspicions and able to find him insane under the guidelines set within the McNaughton rules. Is that maybe your man Glenn? Maybe. Something strange about these sauces. Hackett, Brown, Chart, Token, Law, Cat. I'm just checking, seeing if. Oh, I don't want a hint. Crime scene report. I'll see if any names are catching out of me. Right, can't find anything there. But, hey, well, what has David been doing?
David has been hunting and skinning again. But from the look of the torso, he caught a domestic cat. I'm being generous. It was definitely a cat. I spoke to David about it, but I have no idea if he can comprehend me or not. He just grunts at me. He doesn't even smile anymore. Not at all.
Maybe where did the cat come from?
Yes, sorry. I left out an important detail. The girl, Anushka, she was crying because her cat had gone missing.
Ooh.
And she thinks that David killed it.
But he definitely did kill it.
Doctor, I'm worried.
What are you worried about?
I'm worried that David's not going to stop at cats. He's killed deer, rabbits, wild birds, and now cats. I'm worried he might add little girls.
So she's afraid that David might kill
I can't stop
the little
him.
girl. Can't stop him. Oh, why can't you stop him?
I can't stop him. I can't control him in any way at all. Ever since I brought him back from the dead, he has done nothing but ignore me. I'm starting to think that...
What are you starting to
that
think?
I need to put David out of his misery. That I need to end his suffering.
Well, he is just a zombie that's going around.
Kill him. Again.
I mean, I don't want to sound bad, but...
What shall I do,
maybe.
Doctor? Should I kill David?
Yep, let's kill David.
I love him so much.
You love him so much you killed him before.
But you're right. It's time. He's becoming a danger to people around him, not just himself.
Oh my god, there's so many fires going off outside, it sounds like World War III. Have you talked to Bryce or Iris?
I never talked to Bryce, but I did talk to Iris. She didn't want to at first. She blames me for David's death, but as we both know, that's not a thing. Anyway, she said she was never locked up in any basement and had never heard of any Dr. Dekker.
Scarlet was Iris?
So it's, as I first suspected, a lie.
Oh, no, Scarlet was
You
Iris.
didn't make all of that up, so I talked to Iris again, did you?
Scarlet was Iris, never mind. I'm getting I was getting confused there. Have you ever taken temazepam?
I've never used sleeping pills. I'm too afraid of what would happen to me in my sleep.
Was Dekker an alcoholic?
If Dr. Dekker was an alcoholic, he hid it well. I never saw him drink. He certainly never offered me a drink.
Oh, maybe because you were
God knows
married.
I could have used one.
Did I make up a story about Iris being in the thing? Yes, I made up a story.
That's despicable, Doctor. I think I'm starting to warm to you.
Oh no. Said that because if it clearly got called out as a thing like this didn't happen, you know, so I'll need to bring that up with Bryce next time. Did you remember the photo?
Oh yes, here. From a few weeks ago. As you can see, Doctor, he looks perfectly normal.
Oh, there's a photo of David. He looks lovely, so he is. Here we go. Did Dr. Dekker offer any theories about David?
Dr. Dekker was very quiet in our sessions after seeing David. After a while, he started talking about David like he was a pet, asking me what I fed him, what he'd do in certain conditions.
Why was Dr. Dekker talking about David as if he was a pet?
I think he was fascinated with it all, and David and I had become new test subjects for him. When I said David never listens to me, he urged me to start giving David treats for pleasing me.
Oh dear.
Not in that way, but showing him how to close a door, for example. If he did it, give him a treat. It did actually work, but I had to stop myself. I felt like I was training a monkey. It just wasn't right.
Well, maybe if you trained, David right after you murdered him, it wouldn't be nearly murdering little girls. What certain conditions was Dr. Dekker interested in?
Dr. Dekker asked me if I'd ever accidentally locked David in, which I hadn't. But curiosity got the better of me, so I locked him in the lake house. He couldn't get out. He didn't have the wherewithal to operate the lock.
Good doggy, David. Fortunately, David's a fully grown man that she murdered and then brought back to life as a dead body. Not a dead body, as a zombie. Tell me about your referral.
My solicitors did refer me, but I ended up going privately as it was cheaper. I'm paying them enough already without them getting a percentage of my therapy bill.
I can stop you reanimating people.
That's an interesting idea, Doctor. It's not really something that needs to be done, though. I have no intention of reanimating anybody anymore. It hasn't gone very well in the past.
Good. Keep that in mind. So there's not really anything big to follow up on. Right. I should tell Bryce that Iris denies being locked in the basement. Iris. So Iris was the girl that knows friends with Claire. I mistakenly thought was Scarlet, but Iris was denies. Was locked in reportedly locked in Dr. Dekker's basement, and Bryce released her. Being in the basement.
How extraordinary. So the girl in the basement was somebody that Claire knows, and she's adamant that I didn't rescue her. I really wish I'd taken photos now.
No, you wee creep. Fuck off. Bryce, eh? Right, so let's talk to our final. Or, well, not really patient because she's our receptionist, but she does seem to know quite a wee bit, so let's start talking to her. Let's talk to Jaya. How are you today?
I don't want to talk about grief today. I'm getting enough grief from work.
I'm sorry, I'm your boss. Why is work giving you grief?
I don't know if you know, but Professor Alderby used to be my professor. He teaches history and psychology, amongst other things. I know it's not technically work, but he asked if I would allow him to have the video footage of his sessions with Dr. Dekker. Dr. Dekker wanted to be removed from all of the videos, so it's jump cut after jump cut, but I'm sure you've already noticed that.
What video footage?
I didn't think you'd mind, since it wasn't your case anyway. Mostly it's the professor talking about how he viewed reality back then, in so much as he thought it was changeable. There's nothing else to do but watch while things are encoding.
Ooh. How is reality changeable?
Psychokinetics, remember? Cult of the Kinetic Mind? Professor Alderby said it was recommended reading to help psychiatrists in their frontline battle with insanity, he likes to call it.
Actually, I've realised if it said that Dr. Dekker was in the video footage, it's like, why did they want it removed? Why did Dekker want removed?
I have no idea. Maybe he was an undercover secret agent? Maybe he was getting more annoying as time progressed. You're not, though. You're lovely. Is this a good time to ask for a raise?
Talk about that afterwards, but oh, you cheeky cow, can you battle with insanity?
Professor Alderby saw the relationship between psychiatrist and patient as a winnable battle. The patient must be cured by removing their psychokinetic ability, if present, either by telling them it doesn't exist or by using another psychokinetic ability to negate it. It's a long time ago, I can't remember all of it. There was a specific example.
What specific example?
If someone tells you they can fly, you tell them you control air currents and that from now on they won't be allowed to use them. This would normally stimulate the brain in such a way that the patient stopped thinking they could fly. The main danger as the therapist is believing that you can control air currents.
Oh, well, maybe that's what Dr. Decker's been thinking. Maybe Dr. Decker's been telling people he's got these powers, and that's why that's fucking with them, because they do actually have these abilities. Does psychokinesis really pose any danger to the therapists?
The danger of pretending you have psychokinetic abilities is that you may start believing you have them and then have them. It's the paradox of the cure. Dr. Dekker loved paradoxes.
Oh.
His favourite was the grandfather paradox.
The grandfather paradox? Is that the time travel if you go back in time and kill your granddad? You don't exist anymore, but because you don't exist anymore, nobody went back in time to kill your granddad?
If you can travel back in
That's the
time
one, yeah.
and kill your grandfather, then you cannot be born. But if you cannot be born, then you cannot kill your grandfather. It's a time traveler's chicken and egg, if you will.
Yeah, I've heard that one in a lot of fiction. Do you take sleeping pills?
I don't take sleeping tablets, never have. I'm not allowed to prescribe either. Dr. Dekker had me try to forge his signature once, but I was woeful.
Oh. Toxicology report mentions ethanol.
Some people would say Dr. Dekker had a bit of a drinking problem. It got worse and then it got better when his confidence turned up. I think it was the stress of dealing with the new patients. I like the odd tipple.
Oh, the odd tipple? What's an odd tipple?
I've been known to drink, not as much at the moment, not as much as Dr. Dekker did. He kept at least one bottle in his desk drawer at all times. You can't imagine the amount of times I wanted to sneak in and have some.
Could someone have spiked Dr. Dekker's bottle?
I suppose it's possible that somebody spiked his drink. Most people probably knew he had a bottle in his desk. Wouldn't have been that hard to empty out some capsules into it. Maybe the police should get fingerprints?
Shut up. Yes, test for fingerprints.
I'll go and suggest it. Make sure nobody
no, she was being
touches the
genuine with
bottle
that.
in the
I thought she was
meantime.
being sarcastic. I can't quite tell with her. Here we go. A raise.
Wow, I was kidding, but thank you, Doctor. I'll take that as a yes. And don't worry, I'll sort it all out.
Oh dear. Are you feeling stressed?
There's a lot of stress in here. We're dealing with people's lives. How do you relax, Doctor?
How do I relax? Listening to music. Music, playing games, eating, or playing sport. Playing games.
I love video games.
So do I.
I just wish they'd make ones with stronger female protagonists.
So do I.
Sorry, I'd settle for any female protagonists.
Well then. Did Dr. Dekker have any psychokinetic abilities?
Dr. Dekker definitely dabbled in that stuff. I'm not sure to what extent.
How well do you know Professor Alderbury?
I like Professor Alderby. He turned me onto that book I've been raving about.
What book?
Cult of the Kinetic Mind. I should start selling them myself.
Did Dr. Dekker ever say anything about his mum?
Dr. Dekker told me he was adopted.
Oh.
His birth mother only turned up 5 years ago because she wanted money for her experimental cancer treatment. I'm not sure how much it cost or even if he had the money, but he didn't do it, and she became one mean mother.
And I relaxed by playing sport.
Mariana thought I played hockey. Whatever that's supposed to mean.
I relaxed by eating.
I love food. It will be my downfall. Stress eating is the worst.
I relaxed listening to music.
I bet you like dance music. I don't know why.
I mean, it's okay. I should check my notes. As I can say, I can relax by drinking. I've got an idea. I relax by being a cheeky boy here. A wee cheeky boy, so
That option's not always available.
Let's have a wee lie here. By drinking. Let's see if she'll pick up on that.
The bottle can be comforting.
That's all you gotta say. Well, and then I'll ask her about Dr. Dekker's mother, and then we'll maybe call it how was Dr. Dekker mother mean?
He said she started out with the normal passive-aggressive guilt trips and then escalated into bricks through windows and cutting brake
My God.
cables. Well, he got a restraining order after that and never wanted to see her again. When I visited her in hospital on his behalf, do you know what her story was?
What was her story? You know what her story was? That sounds like there's more to it. Her story.
She told me he was never adopted. He was just very ungrateful and clearly, using her own words, had lost his mind.
Oh.
I say never get involved in family feuds, especially if they're not your family.
Oh, don't worry, I'm finishing up soon. So yeah, I think that might be us for today with our meetings. We've actually found out a lot. Found out Nathan is going on a date with Mariana. Mariana is having visions of a sea creature and dead bodies return her. She sees dead bodies and stuff like that. Nathan is letting us know that Mariana's being investigated by the police. Ellen, whose patient has died, blames us for the fact she didn't shift. Claire's got to kill her husband because he might move on to killing people. Bryce is getting chased by someone and is Bryce. Jaya is stressed and is getting a raise. And Scarlet is she believes she can go into people's dreams, and it's actually our first session with her. But we'll have to go on to the next day. Yes, I'm sure.
You said you'd help me with my problem, but he's still here.
Oh. Who's still here?
Dr. Dekker. He wants me to kill people.
Oh, is it Dekker that's maybe seen in the dreams? Dekker wants you to kill people?
He wants them to follow me to the sea, to the creature.
Oh, so she's like a siren who drags them in to the sea, and then this this mad Cthulhu monster attacks them.
It eats them. It's getting stronger. Dr. Dekker says when it's strong enough, it's going to walk again.
Oh, I don't like this.
That's why I black out.
Why do you black out?
He doesn't want me to know. He doesn't want me to remember. I'm feeding a beast that wants to eat us all. You've got to tell me, Doctor. You have got to tell me the truth.
What do you want me to tell you?
You're dreaming, but your dreams are the truth.
In my dreams? Oh.
Don't forget me when you wake. I don't know how I'm in your dream, but now we're together. Let's play a game.
Oh, what kind of game? What game?
I say a word, you say a word. Ready? Guilty.
As innocent, there we go.
Murderer.
Oh, sorry, I hit the thing. Murderer. Oh. Did I say Mariana or Claire? Well, Claire did kill her husband. Claire.
That's a good doctor. Now, just give me those 3 little words and I'll let you go.
I love you?
Yes. Yes, you do.
Oh. I think I might have fucked this. I think she's dragged me into the ocean.
The truck driver
The little girl.
killed
But
himself.
David is
we'll be
weird.
calling it
She's
there.
watching me.
I need to put David
Because
out of his misery.
Is it
this is
okay
moving on
to
to the
steal
final
things?
day. But I think I've generally fucked my playthrough here. I think my
I
character's
saw
gonna die.
Jessica.
Should I
So this is the
kill
wee sort
David?
of
Hilda died last night.
Do you think I should tell
recap.
her about
Psychokinetics.
But we'll
photos?
see
Dr.
you next time.
Dekker seemed to like a drink.
Bit of a drinking problem.
It's probably the same for Jaya.
One of his patients was trying to kill him,
He lent me some money.
leaving him messages.
Creature, human flesh.
I'd teleported.
Do you have that dream, Doctor?
So yeah, next time we'll be digging into Act 5. Insanity, please.
Oh, Doctor. You look... There's something I need to tell you. I can't find Dr. Dekker's prescription pad anywhere. I'm not sure when it went missing, but I don't remember seeing it for a while. Yours is there, but I'm scared one of the patients may have got their hands on it. Let me know if you find it, anyway, and ask me about Mariana later. I've got news.
Oh, but something big about Mariana. So yeah, Mariana basically coming out and telling us in the dream that, yeah, that she's got something that's feeding off of people, and she's been leading them to this creature. So yeah, something big's happening next time. But we'll have to see that next time. So let me just deal with this, and I will quit out of that. And let me just get the lovely little jazz music on the go. And there we go. So yeah, thank you so much for coming on. Thank you so much for coming on. I don't have my phone today, so I can't check if anyone's on. But I will catch you later, and thank you very much for coming on. I've been Mikey, you've been fantastic, and I'll catch you later with some more Dr. Dekker. See ya!